This video is brought to you by these fantastic sponsors, as well as Mobile Gaming News Network, mobilegamingnews.com, your one-stop shop for all your mobile gaming news, reviews, and information you can use. Head on over and sign up, and if you are inclined to write some articles, go ahead and sign up for that as well. We are always looking for more writers. But with that, let's get into the video. Hey guys, what's up and welcome to the channel. I'm the Shotgun Shogun, and we're going to go over some of the Datamine information. First off, I would like to thank YUFFINETHROWAWAY as well as all of the other data miners on the Reddit. I will link to this thread, but I do want to say you guys are doing God's work out there by giving us all of the hype that we are going to be able to see next week. Now, there was some straws data put in here, and I know that this is going to spawn off like 7 million threads of, man, I'm saving for straws. I'm saving for straws. I'm saving. He's not coming until the end of the story. He's not coming till the end of the story. Coeric when. So yeah, there's some information in here, but it's a lot of incomplete stuff. It's not really fleshed out. It's probably going to be that we're going to see him eventually, like in the next couple of story pieces. They're going to slowly put stuff in there, but we do have the Assyria banner next, and then we should have a DN banner for Christmas. Now we'll probably have, we could potentially see Assyria over top of DN, because I would imagine that we might see it next week, if not the following week. It would make sense though to have it next week potentially, and then have it overlap kind of how we have the current banner that is overlapping with Violet. So we'll see when we get that. Now, one of the interesting things that I see here though is that the next JP banners are Crow, then Assyria, and then limited DN. So it does look like they are going to be putting out some of the limited characters for JP at the same time that we get them, so that way they can come on to parity a lot faster with like the newer units. So we will likely be seeing a lot of rerun RBG characters, things like that. They'll probably start seeing Mystic characters a lot faster, but we'll see on that one. So now, one note here is that the DN banner seems it will feature the Unfading Memories artifact. It's not listed on the database itself, but the banner background features the artifact, and that is going to be right here. And that's actually going to be, I don't know. I don't like that, because I don't like new limited artifacts being on rerun banners. The problem being is that if you're somebody in an Omega Whale like me who triple S'd Luna right out the gate, or maybe use some slates on DN, and you're like, you know what, I just really don't need another copy of DN. Now with the artifacts being typically pretty good, limited artifacts are oftentimes very, very busted. You are going to run into the fact that you are going to have to run on or roll on those. And if you do have triple S already, you're basically just rolling for 5-star dogs, which is pretty feels bad, man. And I hope that they break out of this, this thing. So we're going to go back over here. So we do have a bunch of new skins, and they tease that for sure. And it's not sure if they're going to be like releasing these like right away all together, but it does seem like they may do them like monthly back to back, and then keep the epic passes coming, because I know that a lot of people, especially myself included, were like, hey boys, where's the epic passes? Where's the epic passes? I need some skins. I need some skins for my stuff. Now, one of the things that I do kind of understand is that there is a lot that goes into making some of these skins, because they have to redo the S3s. They've got to do, you know, all the sprites, stuff like that. I don't know everything that goes into that. But first up is going to be the Cecelia skin. And this one right here, the Blackwing Succubus, which I mean, theoretically should have came out for Halloween, but you know what? I'll take it whenever it comes out. This is going to be just destroying some people's wallets here. This is a very hot one, and yeah, that S3 is just super, super pretty. I've already seen a lot of people that are just like, oh yeah, I can't wait for that one. The next one's going to be actually like my favorite out of them, and it is going to be just Gentleman Super Sid, and he looks like such an absolute badass. I like the whole like kind of anime space ranger gentleman aesthetic that we've got going on here. Next up is going to be Star of Ezra Aether, and this one is going to just make Aether look even more princessy. You're just so cute, Princess Aether. Next up too is going to be Assyria, and this is one that I know a lot of people have been really talking about as well, especially in my Discord, and it is a very, very good skin. There's some other portrait stuff out there. The next season pass though looks like it is going to be the Assyria one, the Knight of White Flowers. So we're not going to be going in order here. We'll probably see Knight of White Flowers. I'm going to call Knight of White Flowers, Masked Gentleman, Blackwing Succubus, and Star of Ezra. We'll see. I feel like they're going to come like in some sort of like order with side story events, or like as the banners come out. Aether obviously isn't a banner, but we'll see how that goes. So there's that. I think that once those like characters maybe potentially get like a buff, we can see, a potential Sid buff here. We could see some buffs to some of the characters, and that'll be kind of interesting to see if that kind of falls in line with that thinking on that one, or if, they're just going to release them month after month with no real plan of sorts, I guess. Like that's, it'll be interesting to see what they do here with this. So the next one up, and let me get these out of the way so that I can have the correct things here. So the next one up is going to be the New Year's Cookie artifact, and I can see this being the replacement for the Small Miracles artifact for the event. So we're probably going to get like a whole semi brand new event. But this one's Archie heard that at the end of the year, you wear a red hat with white fur. You should give out presents to make people happy. Since Archie's such a generous guardian, I'll give Master a cookie just for today. Now, this is going to be a 4-star artifact. Recovers the health of all allies by 10% at the start of the battle. Amount recovered increases proportional to the target's max health. Now, I think this is the same as like a goblin lamp or something. But I do think that this one's going to probably be a currency artifact. So it's not that great, but you will use it to get cookies or socks or whatever it is that we're getting with the side story for Christmas. The next one up is going to be Resolute Soldier series, and I could see this being a second one because we'll probably have like a 3-week story on this one. That seems to be how holiday events go. Like it'll be like Halloween, where we'll have multiple parts and multiple artifacts. So this one's a series of paintings comprising of their final works of the master Triviano, portraying various scenes of the Archdemon War in the utmost detail. So this one's going to increase defense and effectiveness of all allies by up to 10%. Does not overlap with an artifact providing the same effect. Now that's pretty interesting because it is defense and effectiveness. So if you're looking to build up a little bit of defense, a little bit of effectiveness, now it's not as good as like, let's say an Arius, but you can team this up with other characters that provide the damage share, like take a Crozet or an Eaton, and then just slap that on there. Now you have the extra defense and you also have the extra effectiveness, which is going to be pretty good. Now, the one that, like I said, is I'm pretty sure is going to be limited. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on the DN banner, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be sad, is Unfading Memories. And this seems really, really good. DN always kept a dried forget-me-not in her pocket watch, shimmering with bright blue light as if it were picked only a day earlier. This is going to heal all allies by up to 8% after using a non-attack skill. So where, Celestine is the lowest target, this just literally heals everybody. And I do believe that this can be paired up with a staff to increase overall healing. So this is going to be really, really big in sustain teams. And one of the big things with DN as a healer, running her as a healer was, yeah, if you use Celestine, that's fine, but you were only healing the lowest target. With this one, I feel like you can use her more as like a supplementary healer alongside a normal healer with a staff, and your healing is just going to be through the roof. Shields, debuff removal, crit reduction, you attack up, heals on both of those. If you make her super fast, I know you don't have a tome, but that's, you know, neither here or there. But I think that is going to be a really, really good artifact. And again, I hope that I don't have to roll too much on that. I really wish that like on limited banners, they would give us options to roll like Covenant plus the artifact, or we could switch the pity from the character to the artifact. That would be a good idea in the future. If you're going to do that. So this is the cookie one. A little cutie there. This is the Resolute soldiers. Like I said, I can see this being the secondary artifact in there, or this could be a side artifact like we have before. And then this is going to be the limited artifact with DN's run there. So this is going to be Moonlight Roman, and that's going to be his S3. Definitely looking a little bit more regal there. And this is Benevolent Roman, Knight Commander of Wafundos, who's kind to everybody. I think he's pretty kind to everybody at the moment. Though he treats everyone with gentleness and kindness, he won't hesitate to do anything for his friend, no matter how cruel. To him, Schnell is nothing more than a troublemaker. Okay, so you saw that there. His attribute's light. He's going to be a light mage, 4-star. He's going to be the new 4-star Moonlight that's going to be in the Mystic rotation. So what are his skills? So his devotion's going to be attack. We've been getting a lot of attack mages. I'd like to see more defensive mages, like maybe, you know, somebody with like an intra. I don't know, intra. It's hard to do with like stats and stuff like that. A lot of the devotions are pretty static. Self-devotion is effectiveness, which you're probably going to want to self-devote onto him because you are going to want the effectiveness, because he's very similar to normal Roman. But let's take a look at what he's got going on here. Skill 1 is Mana Arrow, and this attacks the enemy with concentrated mana with a 35% chance to activate Mana Burst. Mana Burst attacks all enemies, decreasing combat readiness by a random amount between 10 and 50%. That's real huge, and I guess you could take like the kind of average about that and just, you know, he's probably going to be, see, he's upset about getting Mana Bursted as well. Actually, there's probably somebody at the front door. Hold on. Sorry about that. My dogs get a little bit tilted when I talk about new characters. But anyways, so you can kind of assume that your average is going to be about 25%. I do like the randomness of it because it definitely, if you knock them back 50%, that's going to be huge, especially if it's like a team-wide knockback for 50%. That's going to be really, really disruptive. And one of the things that I think is really good about the upcoming RTA, and I think a lot of good teams are going to be centered around that disruption. You're going to want to like modify how the game's played so that the other person has to kind of think things through a little bit more. It's going to be pretty good, you know, mind games. But anyways, I think that's going to be pretty good. The upgrades are obviously just straight damage. So this is something that you don't really have to skill up in order to make effective, because it's not like the effectiveness chance goes up, the pushback or anything like that. So this is one of those skills that you don't have to necessarily level until much later on if you want to run and get a little bit more extra damage on that. Now the next one is going to be Height Mage's Might. Okay, say that 5 times fast. Reduces the effect of decreased combat readiness debuffs inflicted on the caster by up to 100%. This is going to be pretty interesting because that means that he is not going to be pushed back ever. Upgrades -2 combat readiness, decrease -2, -3, 3, and 10. Okay, so you can go up to 100. So he is literally going to be unpushbackable. Which is going to be pretty interesting, especially if you see somebody who's running manipulation. You can just go, boom, no, anti manipulation here. And I think that's actually pretty pretty sweet. Next up is going to be Mana Fundamentals. Attacks all enemies with condensed mana with a 60% chance to silence for 2 turns. Upgrade attacks all enemies with condensed mana with a 60% chance to silence for 2 turns before dispelling 1 buff. Now, this is going to be kind of interesting because it does dispel after the silence. So if they're running immunity, it's not going to strip and then silence. So you're going to use it for one or the other. Now, if you are, let's say, running other buff strippers, then you can easily strip off things like, let's say you already stripped off their immunity and you're running up against like a Maid Chloe. This will silence and potentially strip off of a revive or the increased attack. So this is still going to be pretty good. I do think that he's going to be kind of interesting here. He gets up to what, another 60, 75%. Extra effectiveness was at 90%. So 60, 70, 85, 90% chance. So you get a 90% chance to strip buffs and silence. So, I mean, that's going to be pretty good, especially, I don't know, it doesn't say on here what the cooldown is, but a silence for 2 turns, 90% chance to silence for 2 turns is pretty huge. Usually it's like 1 turn with like Mercis silencing for 2 turns and like a couple other characters, I think, that silence for 2 turns. But like having 2 turns is huge because typically it's just like, oh, you get 1 turn of stun, you get 1 turn of silence, you get 1 turn of CC, and then if they're fast, get wrecked. They're going to be out of it before you are able to do much to them. With 2 turns gives you a bit more leeway to like kill that rule or, you know, something along those lines. So it will be definitely interesting to see how he does. Now, all-arounder Wanda, I already talked about that in my video yesterday. I think that she is going to be ridiculously good, absolutely phenomenal. I think that she's going to be really, really solid in RTA, especially because of the fact that you can't dodge her. You can't dodge her. She's very anti-dodge. Now, one of the interesting things that they pulled out of here is these scarves, and this is the necklaces. And I think that what you're going to be able to do is for Christmas, for the Christmas event, I don't think you're going to be able to get all of them, but I do think that you are going to be able to pick a person's scarf, pick a waifu's scarf. And there's Crow in here as well. So, you know, that is actually pretty good because, you know what, granted, they don't give you too much in the way of husbando scarves. I mean, I would have put in like Crow, maybe Violet, Charles would have been a good scarf, you know, like any one of those dudes would wear scarves. Like, let's be real. Violet would have a very, very flamboyant scarf, and Charles would have a very, like, you know, minimalistic dad scarf, you know, but it would be one of those ones where you're like, oh man, this is like the warmest scarf ever. It doesn't look any very good, but it's, you know, it's a warm, very, you know, nice scarf. Husbando scarves more. Come on, Smilegate. You gotta represent the husbandos because even as a dude, there's some times where I'm like, man, you know what would be really cool? A super dapper dad. Like 100%. Crows would be in the middle, you know. So you got your options there. But let's see. You got Angelica's scarf, you got Mercedes' scarf, Karen's, Destina's, Crows, and Assyria. Personally, probably going to go with Angelica's scarf myself. Now, this is going to be an epic, necklace? Yeah, an epic necklace. You're going to have health stats, and then you're going to have sub stats. So it'll be health. You know what it'll probably be? It will probably be each scarf is a different set. So like Angelica's will probably be health. Mercedes would probably be damage. Karen's would be crit. Destina's would be effect resist. Crow's would probably be defense, and Assyria's would be attack. There's no lifesteal there. So you put Violet's in and you would have lifesteal set. Easy. Now you need immunity and the Rend one. I know it's not Rend. It's Rage. That's the one I'm talking about. But yeah, there you go. You guys have all kinds of options. Come on, Smilegate. You got to think outside the box here. Got to think outside of the box. But we're going to get armor, Coat of Small Miracles. And the nice thing with these are that this gear is actually pretty solid. especially for newer players, even for some of the vets. Like I actually literally still use the hat from last year on some of my characters because it actually rolled pretty okay for me. But Code of Small Miracles, this is going to be level 71 epic. It's going to be defensive for your main stat. I think, are the main stats like the set? I don't think they are. So we'll see what the set is. Doesn't show in here really, but you're going to have health, defense, speed, effect, resist. So it probably would be defense. I mean, that's going to be pretty solid defensive piece of gear. You're going to have a small and violent miracle for your weapon, health, attack, speed, crit chance. These things are really, really good because I mean, they're literal perfect rolls on the base. It just depends on your RNG on whether or not you are never lucky. Oath of the Exile Colony. This is going to be a ring, effectiveness, health. Oh, you can have health, attack, defense, resist, effectiveness, and then the static ones are crit, hit, and crit chance. So that kind of sucks if your main one, like you might get health, you might get attack, maybe defense. Who knows on that one. But then you got the Perutan mercenary sword. Yeah, somebody's gonna be like, God, how do you pronounce these things so bad? This is gonna be your main attack effectiveness, crit. Probably would be good if that was like a life steal on there. But we're also gonna get a probably a shop exclusive pet. And this is going to be just it's going to be a little snowman, dude. A little snowman. Race snowman type battle. So this is going to be your shiny pet from this event, and you are going to end up wanting to put him onto a triple S pet, which is going to be, you know, a triple S stat pet just for the aesthetic, and it's going to be pain in the butt. Regardless, he's super cute. So definitely probably going to make him my side story pet, maybe my AP pet. We'll see what I turn him into. But anyways, guys, that is just a lot of really big stuff that's coming up. We don't know what is coming with the event, like what kind of, you know, rewards we're getting, stuff like that. The little web event thing that we get this time around is actually pretty cool. Give out some presents, get some presents, do some presenty stuff. So that was kind of cool. There's a lot of stuff I feel like that's coming down the pipeline, and I think that they are adjusting things. So, you know, we'll see how things go from here on out, especially considering RTA is coming up the 26th, things like that. Once RTA comes out, I'm going to probably be doing quite a bit of RTA, especially on stream, things like that. But one of the things that I want to point out too is the 23rd of December. We'll be doing a Christmas Eve 24-hour stream, probably going to be leveling up just tons of RTA units, talking about RTA, getting ready. If you don't have anything going on Christmas Eve, come hang out. I'm also doing some charity for a really cool charity group that I have some friends in there. So I will be going over more of that. Also, if you haven't, I got a giveaway down in the description. Make sure you just sign up for that because there's going to be some money. I'm going to give out some other stuff based on how many Twitch subscribers and stuff like that. I'll be doing like presents and things like that. So definitely look out for all of that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to making more videos as things come out. Again, I hope that the limited artifact I hope that in the future they give us some options, because I hate rolling. Like with the Luna Banner, I had to roll. I already had a triple S, but I liked the Draco Plate, so I had to roll for it. So, you know, feels bad, man. Give us some options there, Smiley Gate. But let me know what you guys are excited for. We're definitely going to get a DN rerun. Are you going to roll for Assyria when she comes up next week? Are you sticking for DN? I think that both of them are going to be really, really good. And yeah, the everything else is out. Assyria is really, really strong in a lot of situations, in RTA, in arena, even in PvE, she's really good. So it's going to be really rough to determine who who to roll for in the upcoming weeks. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna catch you out of here. I want to thank everybody who helps make this channel possible. You guys rock, and I'll catch you later. Homies, peace.